On this episode of Under the Radar Michigan, we see how a classic structure is restructuring downtown Lansing. We'll also meet some young people who are re-energizing the city and eat, share, and care at the Lansing City Market. Then we head back to Michigan's incredible UP for some winter fun in Ishpeming. Hold on to your Stormy Kromer because we're going to be tubing, ski jumping, pub crawling, eating, and meeting the one and only Goofus. Get ready to explore the cool people, places, and things that make Michigan a great place to be.
Under the Radar Michigan is brought to you in part by the Michigan State Housing and Development Authority, investing in people, places, and partnerships to help transform Michigan and the Michigan economy. In cities, towns, and neighborhoods, people are building better places to live and better communities. Also by the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. The Komen Race for the Cure series raises significant funds and awareness for the fight against breast cancer, celebrates breast cancer survivorship, and honors those who have lost their battle with the disease. More info at komen.org. Also in part by the Food Bank Council of Michigan, Michigan's statewide food bank network, committed to the alleviation of hunger in Michigan and in our nation. The Food Bank Council of Michigan gathers food and funds to help stock Michigan's food banks. Support for Under the Radar Michigan comes from Big B Coffee, celebrating 17 years as a Michigan company. Gift cards, coffee mugs, and coffee by the pound are available in-store and online. Locations at biggby.com.
I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. And the more I explore, the more I realize it's the place to be. I'm Tom Dalton, and this is Under the Radar Michigan. Hi there. We're back in Lansing, Michigan. And why, you ask? Hey there. Hi there. It's all right. We're back in Lansing, Michigan. And why, you ask? Well, it is, after all, our state capital. Hi there. We're back in Lansing, Michigan. And why, you ask? Well, it is, after all, our state capital.
Oh yeah, and there's also a ton of other cool stuff happening here. Lansing continues to move Michigan forward, but not just through the efforts of our state government. Just take a look around and you'll see that this city is alive with new business, cool spaces, great places, and young faces bringing energy to downtown.
It's really attractive to people my age who are right out of school who still want to be in a high energy, work hard, play hard environment.
I did not plan on staying in Michigan. I think like a lot of college students who are born and raised in Michigan, and then you get out of college and you're ready to spread your wings, but I had a job offer here. So I stayed, and the longer I stayed, the more I loved it.
We're all just fresh out of school, whether it's undergrad or law school or grad school, and we're motivated and eager to create our own career.
There's a lot of opportunity here, either with the state of Michigan or with companies that work with the state of Michigan.
Once I was settled in my job and building my professional network and liking my scene and living in an urban loft and everything was walkable and it was right at my fingertips, it was wonderful. I couldn't leave, and now I don't want to. Now this is my scene.
It's just a great place to be.
Lansing is located in the heart of the Lower Peninsula, just an hour and a half northwest of Detroit.
Now, the building you see behind me here sat empty for years, but now it's one of the cornerstones of Lansing's economy. And that's no accident. Actually, it kind of was.
Meet the Accident Fund building. This classic Art Deco style building was originally the Ottawa Street Power Station, which supplied Lansing with power and steam from 1938 until the late 1980s. When the plant became obsolete, it turned into an abandoned brownfield and sadly sat in the center of the city for years. Today it stands proudly as headquarters to Accident Fund Holdings, who along with parent company Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, partnered with Chrisman Development to bring this iconic building back to life. And in doing so, they've created a shining symbol of reuse, renewal, and reinvestment in downtown Lansing. Blue Cross Blue Shield President and CEO Dan Lepp gave me a real sense of what it took to make this amazing transformation happen.
This was sort of a weird come together.
Right.
Because I think when we first started or came up with the idea of looking at an old power plant to turn into a building for business use, everybody thought we were crazy. And every time we went down every step, figuring the answer was going to be no, the answer was yes. And so we made the decision, do you want to go out in the suburbs in a brownfield, or would you like to make an impact in an urban area? This building has fundamentally changed downtown Lansing.
You saved a beautiful historic structure. You're helping to revitalize the downtown. area. Yeah, it's a win-win. When people come in the building, what are some of the things you hear when they see this place?
You know, every nook and cranny of this place is something different. I mean, you go into the other part and you look at the crane where they actually were moving things in and out of a power plant.
Right.
So you go into the old entrance where people came in to pay their bills, and the architecture down there is just phenomenal. What a dichotomy of where this thing was in the beginning and where it is now, except it's the same building. It's the largest restructuring of a power plant for business use in the world. I think it's a great place to work for the Accident Fund employees, but I think more importantly, it has had a phenomenally positive impact on the city and the region.
When it comes to bringing a project like this to fruition, you need people with vision. And Accident Fund President and CEO Liz Haar is one of those people.
Even though it was hard to visualize at first, you could still see the old character of the building before we did any work. And it was just a beautiful building. And all the brick that is here and all the attention to detail that was here when the building was originally created, you could still see that through.
One of the really unique original features of the building is the graduated coloring of the brick, which was designed to emulate the burning of coal. It's a beautiful building that any city would be proud to have. But lucky for Lansing, it's staying put right here.
You could have your offices anywhere in the world. What made you pick Lansing?
Well, first of all, our hearts were in Lansing and our hearts were in Michigan. Most of our employees have been born and raised here or have lived here for a big part of their life, including me, born and raised here in Michigan. And so we wanted to stay in Michigan and we wanted to stay in Lansing.
How has this impacted the city of Lansing?
You know, we think it's had a big impact and it's been a good catalyst for more growth around here. And we've seen a lot of that growth over the last couple of years.
What are some things that you love about the city?
Well, I think it's a great city, and it's a good Midwestern town with kind people and people that know their neighbors and want to help their community. And it's also great for us from a workforce standpoint that we can get really good people that want to come here and work. I think Lansing also has a lot of features that you don't find in every city. First of all, it has a really vibrant downtown. We have the river and the River Walk. We have MSU close by with a lot of activities there. And just a really pleasant place to live.
Preserving history and taking a city into the future all at the same time is pretty tough to do. But Crispin Capital Development President Steve Rosnowski was up for the task.
First of all, is this a suspended floor we're on?
This is a suspended floor, yeah. It was, obviously this was a power plant, and so it was not laid out as an office building, did not have interstitial floors throughout the space, so that was part of the project, was building floors for people.
You guys won a pretty substantial award for what you did to this building. Didn't you win the Governor's Award?
Governor's Award for Historic Preservation, yeah, very high honor.
And what you guys did to maintain the integrity of the building?
Yeah, it can be tough. The historic preservationists are interested in keeping things the way they were. Right. Well, the way they were was a power plant. Right. So we had the challenge of turning that into an office building, but still staying true to the history of the building. And that's where a lot of that kind of artistry comes in, and the result is what you see.
That's a great word, artistry, because to take something that's historic like this, modernize it, but still keep the same flavor, that's an art form.
It is. And I'm so proud that it was all done with local folks. There were a lot of developers across the country that took a look at this building and couldn't figure out what to do with it. But with the commitment of Accident Fund and Blue Cross, Michigan-based companies, the design team, the people that had the creative vision to do this and the passion were right here in Michigan, right here in Lansing for the most part. And so it was a local team that did this. And I can't think of an example that we've ever been involved in where it came together as well as this.
Well, that makes two of us. It really is one of the coolest buildings in Michigan. So if you want to look into our state's past and its future, the next time you're in Lansing, just look for the Accident Fund building. It's pretty hard to miss, and that's no accident.
You know, on this program, you hear me talk a lot about how communities and neighborhoods have a great sense of place. Now, I'd like to take the time to explain what that means to you, but I'd rather just show you.
A lot of it comes from places like this, the Lansing City Market, a place right downtown where people can gather, connect, shop, and share. And if you're looking for local, look no further. Joe Lasowski is the market's main man, and he explained why this market means so much to the community.
You know what I love about this market? Everything is here. You can get a beer here, you can taste wine here, you can get chocolate cheese here, you can get fresh produce here. It's a great place.
Absolutely. One of the great things about the Lansing City Market is that we can have everything in here. Because we're inside a building, we have access to some of the things that other farmer markets don't have. So you can come in and we've got a full-on bakery, we've got the cheese, we've got the wine, you know, and everybody has the opportunity then to store it at night, you know, and so it's fresh again the next morning.
What do you think a market like this does for a sense of place in the city?
Oh, it's so important to build that sense of place. You know, markets are the place where we build communities. Back in the 50s, you know, people used to sit on their front porch and meet their neighbors. We don't do that anymore. So this is the place where you can come down, meet, you know, maybe not your neighbors, but people who are pretty close to being your neighbors, and you can meet the people who are making your food or have, you know, that special knowledge about the food that you're eating.
With Joe's blessing, I decided to wander around and experience all the great sights, sounds, and smells of the market. Now, if there's one thing we love more than food here at UTR, it's, well, food. And since it was lunchtime, the aroma of pulled pork pulled me right to a guy named Sarge.
So the name of your place is Sarge's Soups and Sandwiches.
Correct.
They actually call you the Sarge?
Correct.
I didn't even make corporal at my house.
I have another officer in my house.
Yeah, the one who's really in charge. I see her back there. Yeah, she's the one in charge.
The CEO.
How long have you been at the market?
I've been in the market since it was open. I was even in the old market.
Really? So you've been here a long time. What do you like about being at the Lansing City Market?
I like the whole montage of personalities. You see it all.
That is a great point. That's why it's interesting and it's fun to go to a market like this. You're not just going to the store with your head down with a cart. You interact with people, you meet people, you make friends, you share. So
people will pick you out walking down the street. Hey, there goes Sarge.
Yeah. And I usually run when they do that. Now, I understand you're famous for your pulled pork sandwich, and I'm kind of a pulled pork aficionado. So
Oh.
I dare you to try your pulled pork sandwich on me.
Well, I can say alakazam, and here we go.
TV magic. Look, a pulled pork sandwich.
There we go. And this is...
Mind if I try?
Go ahead. You want a bottle of water?
No, I'm good.
That is what I do.
And you do it good.
Thank you, thank you.
So whether you're stopping in to pick up some fresh baked goods from our new friends at Aggie Mays, some local produce from the Deckers over at Hickory Corners, or just a sandwich at Sarge's, chances are you're going to leave the Lansing City Market with a great sense of community, and probably a lot of other stuff too.
You know, while you guys ponder why this place gives a sense of place to Lansing, I'm going to go back to my place and put this stuff away. Now, where'd I place my car? How many of you people have never been to Michigan's Upper Peninsula? Raise your hand. Now, put your hands down. I can't see it. This is TV. Hey, I saw that. Now, a lot of people haven't been to the UP because they say it's too far. But nothing's ever too far if you're having fun in the car.
And we're here. And here is Ishpeming, a town filled with great history, hardy people, and tons of natural beauty. Ishpeming is located in the heart of the UP's iron ore country, just 13 miles west of Marquette. The word Ishpeming is Native American for high place or heaven, and this area really is paradise for people who love the great outdoors. Elizabeth Peterson is the executive director of the Ishpeming Chamber of Commerce, and she was kind enough to put it all into words for me.
It's a remarkable small town. Yeah. The people here are what make it unique. This isn't a small city that doesn't want visitors.
Right.
Come on, come visit.
What brought you up to the UP, this part of the world?
Well, I originally moved up here for a job.
Yeah.
Not really sure what I got myself into, and at first I don't think I embraced it the way I, probably should have. Right. And one day I woke up and I just realized, look at where we live.
Oh, this is spectacular.
It's amazing, and we went outside and we never stopped.
You are very lucky.
I feel very grateful to be here.
Well, it didn't take long before Elizabeth challenged Jim and me to a tubing race down a huge hill onto Teal Lake. And as usual, well, things didn't go in our favor. But we had a great time. And I'm pretty sure Elizabeth cheated. So after a leisurely ride back up the hill, we headed into town to a place called Wilderness Sports. I was told they have everything I need to survive in the UP.
Hey, Sandy, I got a challenge for you. I'm a flatlander, and you got 60 seconds to make me a Yooper.
I can do that.
Really?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right, for starters, Tom, you're gonna need a pair of choppers.
What are choppers? Oh, gloves. Oh, mittens. Look, Michigan.
Almost.
Nice save.
You're gonna need these.
Socks? Great. Boy, my ankles are thin, but I'll try these.
Long underwear.
Okay, can I have two? I've got skinny legs. Do I need one of these?
Tom, focus.
Hey, Sandy, does this come in a man style?
You're gonna need some snowshoes.
They're as big as a sled.
And you're gonna need a Stormy Kromer.
No, thanks, Sandy. I already got one.
Well, as promised, Wilderness Sports had everything I needed to become a real Yooper. And we couldn't have asked for a better sport than Sandy Sundquist. A great lady and a heck of an actor, too. So now that I'm a full-fledged Yooper, I need to know where to go to stay warm during long UP winters. So I met up with Randy and Kevin Cluck, and I think they've got just what I need.
Okay, you guys, usually when a father and son spend time together, they go bowling, or they go fishing, or they watch the game.
Sure.
You guys wrote a book about bars in the UP?
We did.
Yeah, here it is, look.
I'll be darned.
How did that happen?
Out of something bad comes something good.
Right.
Kevin's my second oldest boy, gets his business degree from LSSU. That's the good news. Bad news is the job market's a wee bit soft.
Right.
So one day he wakes up and looks at the job prospects, comes over and says, "Hey, Dad,
let's go drinking."
Might as well just pack it all up and take the whole summer and just go and write a travel guide about the best bars in the UP.
Probably the most important travel guide ever printed.
Now, right now we're at Jack's Teepee Bar. Okay, so it's got an interesting past.
It's 1959, and for one of the first times ever, Hollywood had off-site, on-location shooting. So picture 1959 actors like Jimmy Stewart, Lee Remick, walking those sidewalks out there for the movie Anatomy of a Murder. The interior shots were taken right here. In fact, you could have been sitting where Otto Preminger sat.
Really? Anatomy of a Murder was shot in this bar?
Very, very cool.
Okay, so as you can imagine, while documenting all the bars of the UP, Randy and Kevin amassed quite a library of stories. And they've met, well, a few characters along the way, too. Like the one we found over at Hickey's.
You're Goofus.
Yeah.
Your name's Goofus? How's that working out for you?
Well, I've had it for quite a while.
Now show me this instrument you play. I've heard all about it. It's called the polka-cello?
Yeah, it's called a polka-cello.
Well, give me a taste of what it sounds like.
Okay, well, in heaven there is no beer. That's why we drink it here. And when we're gone from here, our friends will be drinking all the beer.
So if that wasn't fun enough, add in some completely random bagpiping, and you've got all the makings of a true Yooper bar experience.
El Goofus, here's to the UP.
At least that's what they tell me. Now, right down the road from Hickey's, we caught up with Paul Benetti at Congress Pizza to learn a little bit more about a food that apparently everybody in the UP knows about, except me.
I've been to the UP a bunch of times. That's a technical term for a lotta. And I've heard of Stormy Kromer. I've heard of pasties, those meat pies people love to eat.
Oh, yeah.
But this sausage, it's called cudighi.
Oh, yeah.
That everybody loves up here to eat. I've never heard of that before. Where's it from?
Well, it's from, it's an old recipe from northern Italy. So when they came over from the old country and brought it over, of course they're going to bring back, bring with them.
Well, what is it? What is cudighi?
Well, right now, we put all pork in ours. Some put a little mixture of pork and burger. And then our recipe calls for, we put about 7 different spices in there. Everybody has their own
little recipe.
Their own special take on it.
Are there that many Italians up in the UP in this area?
Oh, yes. Yeah, it was a big migration up here. They, go back, 100 years or so. Jobs were scarce over there, and they had a lot of mining jobs over here. And then they came over here.
Since I'm Italian too, would you mind giving me your family recipe?
Well, for a fellow paisan, no problem. No problem at all.
Awesome.
Well, the cudighi lived up to its reputation, and like a true paisan, Paul kept his promise.
I got the family recipe. Huh? Meat and spice? Simpler than I thought. Right next to Ishpeming is a little town called Negaunee, and there they have one place that serves over 100 different kinds of cheesecake. I call that place heaven.
And that place is this place, the Midtown Bakery and Cafe. A great little hometown hangout that'll tempt you with just about everything they serve. And Mary Beth Kurtz makes it happen here every day. And how do we know that? Because every day we were here, we were there. Here. Oh, now I'm confused.
This place is like a combination of coffee shop, bakery, and restaurant because you do everything. How long have you been in town?
We've been in this location for 16 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it started out, my business partner and I had antiques. Bakery was way back there in that other doorway, that's way back there. And slowly over the years, the bakery expanded. As the antiques expanded, we purchased another building and separated the two and started doing soups and salads and sandwiches.
And of course, let's not forget about the house specialty.
You have over 100 different flavors of cheesecake.
I'd say probably closer to 150.
How do you even do that? What do you have like? Do you have like liver and onion and mint chicken and?
No meat-based cheesecakes, that's for sure.
Well, thank goodness for that. Anyway, I had a chance to sample a few of Mary Beth's cheesecakes, and it's no wonder why so many people love the Midtown Bakery and Cafe. Heck, I liked it so much, for all you know, I might still be here. Or there. Now on to what brought us here in the first place. Ishpeming just happens to be home to the longest continually running ski club in the entire U.S. And every year since 1887, skiers from all over the world have come here to take flight. Bob Hendrickson is the tournament chair for this year's 125th anniversary celebration.
Happy birthday, 125 years.
125.
That's incredible, this jump's been here that long.
Yeah, it is. It's a testament to the community, to the ski jumping community, and just to skiing in general.
I'm ashamed that until just recently I didn't even know it was up here. Did you ever jump? Were you a jumper?
No, I can't say I have. I ski and I've played around on it, and I've never gone like this.
Yeah, these guys are the rock stars of the ski world, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they love to fly. That's why they're doing it.
So what do you guys have planned for this celebration, 125 years?
Well, we had a parade last night and a community dinner, and tonight we have a couple bonfires lit up. We'll have about 20 jumpers competing through the evening, and then we'll do a long standing jump. And then at about 8:30 after the competition's done, we'll do some fireworks.
Well, before the festivities started, I was able to catch up with a true legend in these parts. Coy Hill's been on this hill longer than I've been on the planet, and that's a long time.
You've won quite a bit of awards.
I won 7 first places on this hill.
On this hill?
I got 70 years in this valley.
And you just retired, what, last year?
Oh, I retired when I was 46. I built 2 towers.
Really?
Put 2 up, I was the boss. I brought up at least 2 national champions. I was a lifetime coach in America. I'm very proud of this area.
What do you think this hill means to the community up here?
Oh, I know what it means to me with my life.
Well, a lot of people downstate don't even realize that this treasure is up here, that this hill's here.
This is the birthplace of skiing in America.
I might try to jump one of these hills later. You got any advice for me?
You're too old.
Ah, darn it.
I'm sorry.
I'm good looking enough, though, aren't I?
Yeah, the mustache is very becoming.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe it's best I take Coy's advice.
You're too old.
Or not.
Those kids can do this. I can do it. Piece of cake.
You're too old.
This will be easy.
Not bad, eh? Well, as good as my first attempt was, I didn't make the cut. Which was fine, because being able to just sit back and watch these kids do what they do is an absolute treat. If you've only seen ski jumping on TV, you really owe it to yourself to get up to Ishpeming and see it for yourself. Oh, and speaking of owing...
Zach, that was perfect. That was perfect. Here's your 20 bucks.
20 bucks? You trying to stiff me? We said it was 40.
Okay, here's 40 bucks.
All right, thanks.
Oh, God.
Under the Radar Michigan is brought to you in part by the Michigan State Housing and Development Authority, investing in people, places, and partnerships to help transform Michigan and the Michigan economy. In cities, towns, and neighborhoods, people are building better places to live and better communities. Also by the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. The Komen Race for the Cure series raises significant funds and awareness for the fight against breast cancer, celebrates breast cancer survivorship, and honors those who have lost their battle with the disease. More info at komen.org. Also in part by the Food Bank Council of Michigan, Michigan's statewide food bank network, committed to the alleviation of hunger in Michigan and in our nation. The Food Bank Council of Michigan gathers food and funds to help stock Michigan's food banks. Support for Under the Radar Michigan comes from Bigby Coffee, celebrating 17 years as a Michigan company. Gift cards, coffee mugs, and coffee by the pound are available in-store and online. Locations at biggby.com. Closed captioning for Under the Radar Michigan is made possible by Shamrock Travel in downtown Rochester. Shamrock Travel, providing complete travel services right here in Michigan for over 20 years.